Welcome to my Java video series. In this video we'll talk about basic usage of this. So let's continue the previous example. Here we have done a simple example. I'm going to show you this is your first property, this is second property, and we have printed here these properties. As we know that the value for the properties is attached with the object, so mostly all properties will be assigned, all properties will be initialized inside the object, so they present inside the object. So anything which is part of the object, that is accessible through the object. For example, these two properties will be initialized inside the object, so you can access these properties through the object just like this. So let me show you this. So we have these two properties. I'm going to take only one object here and I'm going to remove this. Okay, fine. Here we have two properties and I'm going to set some data here. So we created this. I'm going to access here property. So this is E1, first object I'm using here, E1 dot ID, and let me set here some ID. 101 is a ID, and let me set here E1 dot, this is E1 dot name, and I'm going to set here, let's say it's Vikram. I set here these values. So I'm accessing here ID and name property through the reference, from the reference variable in your different class. This is my different class. It is accessible from the different context. So this is my different class. In different class I'm using here E1 and name through the reference variable E1, but the inside the class, this is the within scope, this is my class, started here, ends here, and I'm going to use here ID and name without any object. I'm not using here any reference variable, but according to the object oriented programming, every data member, every instance variable which is associated with the object will be accessible through the references only. But here we are not using any reference, we have not used anything like E1 or any reference. So how this is accessible? Actually compiler will add here this. We have not done here anything for the simplicity, but this is the convenient approach given here. But internally compiler will add here this, because we cannot access ID and name without any object reference. So how the object will be referred here? So this is actually pointing to the current object, and from the current object we are accessing ID, and from the current object we are accessing the name. Look at this, here we have used this. So this is representing the current object and hash code of the current object. So now you will try this, you will get the same output. There is no change in output. Why no change? Because when I have not added here this, when it is like this, internally compiler will add here this. So look at this, there is no change. I am able to see here 101 and Vikram without this, and here I added this, I am using the same output. So try this. I added here this, I have added here this, and let me use the different statement here. I'm printing the line here twice, and I will get here same data. So look at this, 101 Vikram, 101 Vikram. There is no change in the output. So everything which is part of the object is accessible through the object reference. So we must require reference to access the member of the object. So inside the object I used to write directly like this, but when these two properties are member of the object, how it is accessible? Actually it is internally converted by the compiler in this form. Compiler will implicitly add here this. So this is how you can see, right? So this is one simple use of this. I can show you this similar way. Suppose we have one method here, let's say it's a void test method. Just say it's a simple method. I'm going to add here, this is testing message. Okay, now let me call here this test method from do task method. So this is my method, I'm calling here calling same class method. I'm going to call the method belongs to the same class. Okay, now look at this what happened here. I'm able to call here testing method. So I called here this do task method, and do task method is calling this test method, but test method belongs to the object. It is an instance method. So these two are instance variable, and this method is an instance method, because I'm not using here static. When you write here static, it will become static member or static variable, and when I use here static, it will become static method. But here it is non-static method, means instance, this is instance variable, and this method is a instance method because it belongs to the object. This is instance method. So this instance method belongs to the instance. So how I can call this test method without instance? So I need here instance. So this is actually added by the compiler. Here you can see this dot test is pointing to the method, is calling to the method in current instance, because this represents to current instance. Current object is referred by this. So look at the output. There is no difference in my output. I can see here same output. So either you directly write here this, or you use this keyword this dot test. Both are same. So in fact I can call this dot, I can directly call this method from the current object. So it is calling to the same instance method, and in fact you can write this. I prefer to write this, so this is more readable, but you can use the methods without in fact using the this keyword like this. So this is correct. This is the old way we have been using, but you can write here this if you are interested. This is more readable. In fact, if you do not write this, compiler will add this call here. So this is enough for the current discussion. In next video we'll talk about some more usage of this. Thank you very much for watching.